Alright guys, welcome back to the third update on Tropical Cyclone Cheneso, which of course reformed off the coast of Madagascar while basically moving none. As you can see on the satellite imagery, very good rotation currently. The storm really has had a very good start. Convection firing up pretty consistently as well. At this stage, the storm is looking very, very good on the satellite imagery. And of course, the latest ATCF reading, or the latest ATCF estimate, had the storm with winds of 65 knots, which equates to 75 miles per hour. That means the JTWC are now going to be going with a typhoon in their next advisory if they do not change the ATCF update. But yeah, currently the storm has maximum wind gusts of 90 miles per hour, that is 80 knots, a pressure of 983 millibars, and it is stage 3 currently. Like I said, yesterday it may be moving extremely slowly. I mean, not yesterday, sorry, the day before. It might be moving extremely slowly. But it is basically moving nil, and it is a level 7 on my wind gust scale, as this latest update brought to you by Curtis Simplified. So take a look at the estimates in 1 minute sustained winds. The ATCF forecast system going with 75 miles per hour. The JTWC going with 70 miles per hour. I presume they will update to 75 miles per hour in their next update. ADT going with 65 miles per hour. And the Curtis Simplified analysis going with the latest ATCF reading of 75 miles per hour currently. And yeah, like I said, the JTWC are likely going to upgrade to 75 miles per hour. Here is my current intensity analysis, or at least what I'm expecting the storm to do. It will be a category 1, it's still in 12 hours, but then in 24 hours it will start to really ramp up the intensification to Cat 2, and then in 36 hours it will become a category 3, with then a gradual weakening to continue from there, basically. The storm is basically just going to be gradually weakening from there on out, as it will be beginning by that point probably its extratropical transition. For the storm, it'll probably be starting to do that transition. Take a look at the JTWC forecast cone here. You can see they were predicting a peak of 100 knots. I wouldn't be surprised if they lower that to 95 knots, since by their next advisory they were expecting the storm to be at 70 knots. But the storm is only at 65 knots, so I wouldn't be surprised if they lower that 100 knot peak down to 95 knots, and that would not surprise me whatsoever. But still, I'm expecting a 100 knot peak just with the conditions ahead of it. Low wind shear, great sea surface temperatures, actually the best in the whole South Indian Ocean basin at the minute. The storm is currently in jet fuel sea surface temperatures of around 29 to 30 degrees Celsius, the warmest in the whole basin. Take a look at the GFS ensembles, and we can see stalling pattern continuing for about the next 48 hours, but then the storm really starts to ramp up in its movement. And look at that pressure peak according to the GFS, 959 millibars. That is a very powerful storm system, and you can see by that point when it heads southeastwards, it will be beginning its extratropical transition. And it probably would have already completed that. But yeah, you can see drastic change. It doesn't look like it's going to be a threat to land. If it is going to be a threat, it will only be another flood threat for southern Madagascar if it were, but I doubt it would even get close enough to the coast to be a threat. So currently the main threat is probably heavy waves probably coming from the storm, especially if the storm does reach category 3 intensity. Wind gusts over water could be as high as 130 miles per hour, so very powerful waves could be approaching the coast, even on Mozambique and Madagascar. Take a look at some visible imagery here. We can see very good wrapping around of the convection. The convection is also very tall, about around 14 kilometers high. It's been blowing up very high. You can see some rainfall still extending over parts of Madagascar with that main convection blow up. You can see the sensor looking very healthy under that. That's probably why the ATCF is on with 75 miles per hour. That does not surprise me whatsoever. And yeah, it's looking likely that the storm will begin rapid intensification, or it may begin just some gradual but quick intensification when it starts heading south westwards, and then start heading southeastwards. Take a look at some CCC imagery. This is just cloud top imagery, but it is in a bit of a wider range. So those really dark blues we can see, those are minus 85s, those whites getting into minus 90s, those light blues minus 70s, and those darker blues getting into minus 80s and minus 75. And we can clearly see that very big rain band heading into Madagascar with minus 90 degree convection streaming into it. That could be heavy rainfall, or it just could be a very high clouds at this stage. Looking to be very heavy rainfall though. Just looking at the satellite, it looks like a pretty vicious rain band. Overall, good convection firing up. The center is currently covered. It may actually be in that gap you see in the middle there. That may be where center of low is. It's looking like a bit of the center's in there. I couldn't get my words out there. It's looking like a bit of the centers in there, but not all of it. But you can see widely pretty decent convection blowing up. Not as good as it was yesterday or the day before, but it's definitely going to start ramping up the convection activity. Anyway, thank you for watching this update on Tropical Cyclone Cheneso. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next update. Peace out.